already have a nigger mayor and we don't need any more nigger big shots.
What's going on, everybody? This is Red Right, and we are going to go over why my electoral college map video, the video prior to this one, is accurate, and why you need to watch this video until the end. I'm going to give you proof on my electoral college map. A lot of people in the comment section were saying that they either wish it was true or they know Biden is going to win. So let me prove to you that my electoral college map video, the video before this, is on point. I'm going to show you some data. So pay attention, you guys, and I'm going to show you some reasons why Donald Trump will win the 2020 election. To our 281 for Donald J. Trump and 257 for the Democrat Joe Sleepy Biden. All right, now I kind of have updated the map a little bit from yesterday. It might look the same, it might not. Few things have changed, but overall 281 to 257 I believe will be the final count for our presidential election, and that would mean 4 more years of Donald J. Trump. Okay, so now I wanted to go over some data to back up this stuff, okay? And I was saying this might tilt to Joe Biden, but I also might give it a lean or a tilt to Donald J. Trump, 292 to 46, okay? Now, even if the Democrats win Pennsylvania solidly, Donald Trump will still be president of the United States by a very narrow victory if the Democrats pull off Pennsylvania, which I don't think they will. It's going to be a close race, but check this out. If the Democrats even get Pennsylvania, it'll be 266 Biden to 272 for Donald Trump. Now, I do believe this race will be way tighter than the Clinton-Trump race, but here's some things that I've looked up a lot of this, you guys, and Trump voters, the shy Trump voters, the people who don't tell other people they're Trump voters, they are out there, okay? I personally know a few of them, okay? They won't tell anybody on social media, they won't tell their friends or family, but they will vote for Donald J. Trump. They won't even tell the pollsters who are calling them. Pollsters have your information. They know who they're calling. They ask who they're calling. Some people will not give the information to the pollsters. They will either hang up. That means that more Democrats will likely be polled, right? Because let's say a shy Trump voter picks up the phone call. They're not going to give their vote to Donald J. Trump, or they might even lie and give it to Joe Biden, okay? So I believe a lot of that is going on with the polls, but I did want to show you some other information that I've been looking at, and let's just come over here. This is just the news, and let's read a couple things. Pennsylvania voter registration data shows Republicans are gaining voters at 5 times the rate of Democrats, with the November elections fast approaching. There's just a few different things that are happening. Voter registrations, that means new voters. Republicans are gaining and exceeding expectations. That means there's more people coming out to vote for Donald J. Trump potentially than there is people coming out to vote for Joe Biden. All right, in very key battleground states. Now, this is Washington Examiner. Just like in 2016, many of President Trump's strongest supporters are staying quiet about their election day pick, likely misleading pollsters and the media about the state of the presidential race. In the latest Rasmussen Reports survey of the silent supporters, the pollster said Trump voters appear to be hiding their vote again this election cycle. The report said that 17% of likely voters who strongly approve of Trump are less likely to let others know how they intend to vote in the upcoming election. In 2016, when Trump was under attack in the media, and especially after then, Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton said his supporters belonged in a basket of deplorables. Many also stayed quiet about supporting Trump. All right, that likely led some pollsters to get the race wrong and played a role in the media blowing it. All right, same thing. I've heard that the pollsters have fixed the error back in 2016 that they had. And then I've actually looked into that claim that the pollsters have adjusted, their polls, their bias, and their data. When I looked into that, it wasn't true. They're doing the same thing. And they cannot adjust their polls when, like I was saying earlier, the shy Trump voter is not giving them a poll, right? They're not answering. They are hanging up, or they're actually saying they're voting for Joe Biden when they are actually voting for Trump at the end of the day. Also, when it comes down to polls, who are most likely to answer the telephone? Okay, when we're talking about telephone polls where they randomly call numbers, the most likely people to answer the telephone are women. Okay, men answer the telephone, I think a good, I think 19 to 22% less than females answer their telephone. Right? And Trump hasn't had the strongest base of women, so that could also be swaying the polls, right? They're talking to a lot more women. They're talking to a lot more young people. Young people, the people, the dipshits that believe all the news they see on Twitter, the dumbasses who support BLM and Antifa and claim they're anti-fascists when they're actually the fascists, yeah, those people, they answer their phone. And women answer their phone more, right? So Trump hasn't had the biggest women's support base. He does have a lot of women who support him, but Biden is going to do better with the women vote, and he's going to do better with your little 18-year-old millennials who get all their information and all their political facts on Twitter, Facebook, and other social media sites that are run by largely left-wing media personnel and left-wing organizations, okay? Far left-wing. So that could be swaying the polls as well and be actually screwing up the polls as well. Now, we've seen this happen, right? Now let's read on Axios.com why it matters. This election could be deja vu all over again, but worse. The polls setting false expectations amidst voting complicated by the pandemic and president who has warned of a rigged process, the outcome of which he won't accept. He never said he wouldn't accept it, by the way, so that's annoying they said that. He said he wants a fair election. And by the way, Joe Biden was the one who said, and well, Joe Biden's handlers, people like Hillary Clinton, were the ones saying Joe Biden should not concede at all, no matter what. Now you're going to see everyone talking shit about Trump, saying that he's not going to concede, when really Joe Biden's not going to be the one conceding, because Trump is going to win. There's going to be a lot of shit show fiasco going on November 3rd and the days after. Now, the problem identified with state polling in 2016 remain. Did you just see that? The problem identified with state polling in 2016 remain. There aren't enough large sample quality polls that account for key demographics of voters who tended to vote for Trump, like people without college educations. Many polls done so far this year in swing states like Florida, Michigan, Wisconsin are alarmingly not, key word right here, not improved, said Courtney Kennedy, director of survey research at Pew Research Center, who served on an industry panel that published a post-mortem after Trump's election. The structural changes we had in 2016 are still with us. The coronavirus pandemic will make actual voting more volatile. All right? Now, let's keep it going, you guys. Why? Some more information. Let's get some more information on some of the reasons why I did my electoral college map, which is in the video before this video. Like I said, this is a new channel, you guys, so definitely hit the like and subscribe and leave a comment, all right? Let's try to make it to 200 subscribers by election day. I know that's kind of crazy, but let's see if we can do it. All right. Now, this is why I did the electoral college map like I did in my last video. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't. But this is Red Right, and we're going to be talking about all the reasons on why my electoral college video, the video before this video, is going to happen, right? My prediction will come true. Go check out the video before this video if you have not already. But this is a video backing up my claim of the electoral college map that I did yesterday. Now, let's look at here, Madison.com. But despite Trump standing in the polls, voter registrations in the counties won by Trump and Hillary Clinton in 2016 presidential elections show Democrats may have some work to do. In the 60 counties Trump won in 2016, the total number of registered voters declined by 2.35 or 35,395 voters between July 2016 and July 2020. All right. Now, what state are we talking about, you guys? A very important state that I gave to Donald Trump in the electoral college video I did before this. Voter registrations show glimmer of hope for Donald Trump in Wisconsin. There was a lot more Republicans registering for the first time in Wisconsin than there are Democrats. And you see this in a lot of key battleground states, okay? A lot of them. Let's just go over to the state of Arizona, all right? azsos.gov. All right, this is an official election website. Party name, registered voters. Republicans have 1,389,960 registered voters, 34.84%. Democratic voters, registered voters, 1,293,074. All right, 32.41%. Now, this doesn't mean that Joe Biden can't win Arizona, but there are more registered voters upon the Republican Party than the Democratic. Now, the other could play a key role, right? The other could play a key role in either Trump's or either Biden's favor. But I just wanted to show you this, okay? So that's with Arizona. Now, I wanted to show you this really cool thing on political.com, all right? And this is going to affect the polls as well. Let's go over some of these questions. Now, let's just see what a lot of people are saying about these certain issues, which are going to affect the presidential race, especially in this battleground states, right? A lot of where the chaos and all the bullshit has been going on with the BLM riots and the Antifa riots, right? Now, do you approve of Donald Trump's border wall? 75% of people do, all right? Now, the only thing that isn't so great is obviously Donald Trump's approval rating, which we know has not been declining, but it's been steady around like 45%. Let's see if we can get up to like 48 by election day. As a multimillionaire, can Trump relate to working class Americans? 58% of people who took this poll said yes. Do you agree with Trump's decisions not to publish his tax return? Yes, 65% of people. Is the ongoing trade war with China making you see Trump more negatively? No. Will Trump's tax cuts lead the U.S. into an Obama-era recession? 60% no. Okay? These are some of the key issues that are going to sway the battleground states, how I put them in my prediction in my last video. Okay? So let's go over a few more of these. These are the questions that are going to sway the states to pan out like I did in the last video. The mainstream media is out of control and they're mostly fake news. These are also the people that are running the polls. So if you agree, 65% of people agree that mainstream media is out of control and they're mostly fake news, how are you going to agree with their polls? Okay, that's a big point. The Russia investigation should be considered treason. Agree, 60%. All right, now Obamacare was a failure. Big one that Trump's working on. Agree, 62%. A very important issue that's going to sway a lot of these voters in some of these key states. Should the government defund the police? 84% of people who took this poll said no. Neutral was only 6%. 10% was yes. That is a high number saying no. Will changing legislation to control police brutality help fix racism? 63% no, 24 yes, 13 neutral. Do you agree with Black Lives Matter movement? Neutral 7%, yes is 21, no is 73% do not agree with the Black Lives Matter movement. Trump claims protests are more peaceful because of the National Guard. Do you agree? Almost 70% say yes, neutral 8, no 23%. I wanted to go over here to the Philadelphia Inquirer. Since the 2016 primary election, Republicans have added about 165,000 net voters, while Democrats added only about 30,000. All right? Look, the president won our state by 44,000 plus votes in 2016, said Lawrence Tabbis, chair of the Pennsylvania Republican Party. We have since picked up and narrowed the gap between us and the Democrats by 135,000. Okay, so we are already ahead 44,000, and look what we picked up. I predict we're going to narrow the gap further between now and November. Okay, so Pennsylvania, it's going to be a surprise, and you heard it here first. My prediction is going to be, to most of you, the most off-the-wall prediction, right? My electoral college map video. It's the most off-the-wall crazy prediction. Well, let me tell you something. The most off-the-wall and crazy predictions last cycle were the only ones who got it right. There were very few who got it right. So when you see all these highly biased left-wingers on YouTube telling you Joe Biden's going to win in a landslide, just be wary and be confident if you are a Republican. We will get out the vote. We will get out the vote. I wanted to also go over here. This is Newsmax TV, okay, or newsmax.com. Now, a lot of people were in this survey. I took the survey. Obviously, I voted for Donald Trump. If the election were held today, would you vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden? All right, so almost 150,000 people responded to this. It's an online survey. This is overwhelming. 95,500 votes, 74% picked Donald Trump. 31,324, 24% picked Joe Biden, and neither 1,618, 1%. This is also very telling. This is not a biased left or right wing online survey. Go ahead and look it up yourself, but this is very telling. I also wanted to go over to Florida. Okay, so Florida, everyone thinks that Joe Biden has a chance in winning Florida. I do think it's going to be narrow, okay, narrow margins. I do believe Donald Trump will carry the state by about 2%, 2.5%, maybe even 3 percentage points. We're going to have to see. Now, just going off the Republican Party of Florida and the Democrat Party, let's just go through some of these numbers, right? Dems win here, Republicans win here, Republicans win here, in Bradford, Brevard win there. The only thing is in Broward County. Okay, the Dems are obviously going to win in Broward County, but a lot of these, Charlotte, Citrus, Clay, Collier, Columbia, all these rural areas in Florida have a lot more and new registered Republican voters compared to the Democrats. I mean, going down this list, even in Duval, it's going to be very, very close, but he will win Florida. All right, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you guys.